The lawmakers are disappointed and wonder why Senator Ahmed Lawan will outrightly shoot down their motion even after he was properly briefed in a closed-door meeting before they came to plenary. The minority senators walked out of plenary in protest against the decision of the President of the Senate, but they went ahead to issue the ultimatum that may mount pressure on President Buhari to seriously handle security issues.
At the closed session, we agreed that we will give the president an ultimatum that failing which, if it is not complied with, will move immediately to give an impeachment notice. And this we agreed at the executive session, at closed door session.
Senator Betty Apiafi was blunt when she talked about the lack of confidence in the leadership of Senator Ahmed Lawan. She also says despite several resolutions on security made by the Senate, the federal government failed to adopt and implement it. Senator Apiafi says the frightening security situation has shown the incompetence of heads of relevant security agencies in the country. She also expressed concerns about the state of the economy.
And normally after an executive section, when we go back to plenary, we are supposed to, the Senate President is supposed to give a brief of what happened in the executive session. But it wasn't done, and we just moved on. So we insisted that what happened in the executive session must be reported properly, as in the Senate rule. And when he refused, of course, the minority leader raised the point of order. And he tried to overrule the minority leader because he felt, we have our order paper. In the order paper, we've actually, because as soon as we resumed, as soon as we resumed plenary, he was supposed to have reported progress on what transpired. But he didn't and moved on to take the order of the day. We kept hoping that things will get better, but gradually the security situation kept getting worse. We've even made other suggestions, like, seeking help. If we can't handle this situation, let's look for external help and see how this can be worked out. Nothing seems to be happening. And while that is going on, we have now gotten into another crisis that is also crippling the economy, the oil theft. We just had to take that decision and walk out. And that will be the first of many things we are going to be doing. And until the president sits up and does what is right, we just have to stop this insecurity. It's too much. We just have to stop the oil theft. You can imagine all the excitement about PIB. And I feel so bad. 16 years we battled PIB to make sure it came to pass. At a point we said, okay, let's leave the host community. Let's just allow PIB pass. All the euphoria is gone. Right now the oil companies are locking in even their production because you can't even bring out your production. Because along the flow line, the oil is stolen, and the theft is not the kind of theft where people are actually specializing in stealing this oil. And it's so sad because with this Ukraine and Russian war, Nigeria would have taken advantage of this to build new business relationships, new supply, new countries to supply products to, and earn more money for the country.
In the House of Representatives, there is also talk about impeachment, but this time it is to clarify that there is no plot to impeach Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila if he fails to support the passage of the National Water Bill. The leader of the House, Adodogwa, says they are more concerned with matters of security and will remain committed to their duty of legislation.
This House, in every aspect of it, in all ramifications, had never had an instance where we contemplated impeaching our able Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila. In the ranks of the opposition, we have the leader of the opposition seated here with us. There was no such contemplation.
There is nothing like any threat to impeach Mr. Speaker. Secondly, the issue of a bill or no bill hasn't even been brought before us on the floor for consideration.
Work of passing the bill is not, resident, within the powers of Mr. Speaker. It's in the House on the majority. Whatever the majority, decide is what will go through.
Some ignorant, uneducated, lazy journalist pounds on this bill, and I can guarantee you, all this reportage that is going on our papers were based on ignorance.
The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ahmed Idris, is optimistic that the presidential flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress and his running mate are best fit to govern Nigeria. The Deputy Speaker says he is fully in support of their candidacy and will work to ensure they get votes that will propel them to victory at the presidential ballot next year. The Deputy Speaker said this when he received the Ashiwaju Pact with Citizens Campaign Organization, a political support group promoting the Tinubu-Shettima presidential ticket.
There's no doubt that the choice of Ashiwaju, first I want to say power comes from God. It has demonstrated equitably. He has given out his best. He has been in the political terrain for years. He has developed people. There is no segment of society that you go, you don't have one person or the other that he has helped or touched. And I believe that he is the candidate to be.
The Nigerian Labour Congress made good its threat to hold a mega rally in protest against the continued closure of the nation's public universities. The Congress dismissed insinuations that the protest rally was to discredit the ruling government to the Labour Party's advantage. My colleague, Adisa, reports.
After Tuesday's rally across the states, the Nigeria Labour Congress on Wednesday led the 4 unions and the universities to register their displeasure over the over 5-month-old strike. Security presence was visible following intelligence reports of a likely infiltration of the protest by some undesirable elements. From the Unity Fountain through the streets of Abuja to the Federal Secretariat and finally to the National Assembly, the message was clear.
The rally has shown that Nigerian people now realize what is happening. Nigerian workers, Nigerian parents, even Nigerian students realize what's happening.
We've signed agreements, and in that agreement, there is a portion where it says that after every 3 years, we must renegotiate.
If you say OSAS is not good enough, how about U3PS? You say U3PS is not good enough, how about if they merge them and they become one?
We have insecurity, gender-based violence that is going on. Nobody is saying something. If you cannot govern, resign.
At the National Assembly, the leadership of the Parliament formally received a letter from the NLC detailing its demands.
We have a documented complaint that have captured all the issues we have stated and what we expect of the Parliament. If before now they have not looked at the issue as a serious issue, we want the Parliament of the Nigerian people, to take this issue very seriously.
No civilized country in the world where students in the university will be away from classroom for 5 months, not to talk of 8 months, not to talk of months more. So we are with you.
Ayub Bawaba describes as baseless reports that the protest was politically motivated.
Is it a serious issue? Does it call for action? Have NLC not mediated behind the scene? Have NLC not tried to resolve the issue? That is the issue. So basically, it's about diverting our attention. Nigerian workers cannot be divided. The attention cannot be diverted.